Hi guys, so today I'm gonna be talking about balding and specifically with in males. So I'll start with a story, and forgive the noise, but yeah. So I had a male friend who he was bald at the crown, and so he would put this like onion juice on his crown so that like the hair would grow on his head. And I think he did this on like several times, and he according to him, his hair grew a little bit but not that much. And I just looking back and seeing him then and seeing him currently, he's still bold. Okay, so I just sometimes you want to do all the natural thing, and sometimes your genetics is just like it doesn't want to respond, it doesn't want to work. So I just thought about how do guys deal with balding. It's like very um vain, like, especially if you're like a vain person, like you care about your appearance, you care about how people look at you, how people perceive you. If you're balding, especially if you're a guy, it might really hurt your self-esteem. And I mean, apart from like the aesthetics, it can, if you're a person who is like really affected, for some people it causes anxiety, depression, or it's sometimes it can even interfere with your life. An example is, I was looking at let's say it's a movie, it's a series on Netflix. So it was an Indian matchmaking. It was, I think, Jewish matchmaking, and the girl, you give your specifics on how you want the guy to look like, and the girl was like, specifically, she did not want the guy to have no hair. Okay, so the guy had to have a full head of hair. Unfortunately, the guy who she got had all the good qualities, but he was bald. So she had to go out with a bald guy, and she liked him. So I mean, but it could always go the other way. So what I'm trying to say is, like, being bald can make you miss your potential spouse, and that could be very tragic. But I mean, you can't control something. Some things are just, if you're who you are, and you just have to go around with confidence with who you are. If you can't change who you are, you either, they say, I forget the word, but it's you flaunt it, or you like cover it. If I'm forgetting the other F, but it's either you flaunt it or you cover it up. So for guys, what are the things that they can do to stop balding, or rather to hide their balding? So according to, like, depending on your information, if it's like journals or Google or Wikipedia or AI, male balding is caused mainly by genetics. So if it is something that runs in your family, most likely it's going to be among one or two people in your family. I know for me, like, my balding is partly genetic. It's not like, I don't say balding, I'm not really balding, it's just like hair thinning, but that whole like losing hair thing is in the family. So yeah, that is genetic. But also it could be hormonal, like people who are using like certain kind of steroids, or things that may be detrimental to their health, maybe like alcohol, you're not taking enough vitamins or iron, especially with like multiple multivitamin deficiencies, or if you have like autoimmune diseases and things like that, thyroid problems, things that may affect your metabolism. scarring of the head, like if you're having you've had like infections before and you have like a scarring, kind of disease on your head, like severe eczema and things like that, they can cause the scarring of the hair follicles, so that could also cause you to get bald. Of course, as I said, infections affecting the hair, the scalp, the skin, those are some things that can cause balding, but most of the time usually it's genetic. And I think I've talked in other videos about how like multivitamin and hormones affect hair thinning or alopecia. So I'm gonna put that in my video as a link, and you can see how I really apologize about the noise. It's like the wrong time, but I really wanted to get to discuss this topic. So I'll link that video in this video that is going to go posted. So apart from that, like people also get like mentally like anxious or depressed when they have this kind of balding. And I don't know if you do have any family members that have experienced balding. Is it something that was an issue for them? Is it something that they didn't care about? Have you seen, or have they asked you to maybe try something? Like it could be especially like your husband, your brothers, things like that. What have they done to take care of the balding issue? Especially if they are young, they want to, especially like it starts like if you're in your teenagers or in your 20s. That's the time they want to impress people. Their appearance is the greatest thing. They're always in the bathroom, they're looking at themselves, and then they have this like thinning of the hair. This is the time you're going for interviews and all of that stuff. So sometimes that's the time you'll get people asking you like, what can I do to treat my head or my scalp so that my hair grows? So the treatment of male balding mainly is putting I don't say chemicals, but things like hair treatments like minoxidil and finasteride. I believe these are like either chemicals or hormones that are applied on the scalp, and they are supposed to increase your hair growth, the hair growth cycle, so that it grows a little bit faster. I know for some people it helps. They have said they've experienced hair growth with some of these. I had gone and seen a dermatologist, for about my hair thinning, and I tried I think it's Rogaine. I can't remember. Rogaine, I think, is the minoxidil, and I tried it on my scalp. So I had tried the Rogaine on my scalp, and the effects were not good. I was noticing more hair loss than hair gain, and I was just so scared. It says that it might go away before it comes back, but usually for me, once my hair goes, it rarely comes back. This is from experience, because I usually cut my hair and then see if it grows back, to see if it grows healthier, and it will grow healthier, but it never grows longer. So when I saw that my hair was actually shedding in that same area that I was applying it, I had hair, but now I was having patches. I said no. I said I'm not going on with that one. So I stopped it, and immediately I stopped it, it stopped and my hair came back. So I was I think I will just continue with natural methods. So anyway, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't, but it depends on your experience. You might have to do some more research to see what the percentages of hair growth are, and if it's really successful. The other thing that can be done is hair transplants, and I think that is more common these days, because I've heard of people mentioning it more often. If you go to the dermatologist, they may suggest that you can get a hair transplant, or if you just go to a skin care or people who specialize in hair, they will be able to do hair transplants. This is where they put like foreign hair, but I think the hair has to be similar to your it has to be similar to the type of hair that you have, you know, like it has to be a similarity. Like if you have like curly hair, then it's curly hair. If you have like Caucasian hair, then Caucasian hair. And I think, well, I know that they are very expensive, so you have to have enough money to do those hair transplants, and usually it's done in like in areas, but you can have the whole head. I think I've seen the whole people having their whole head having transplanted. This is on video, not in an actual clinic, but I have seen people having hair transplants done on their whole scalp. It looks painful. Yeah, so hair transplants look, you know, painful to me, but I'm sure they give you like some kind of numbing medicine or something like that so that you are able to tolerate the procedure. The other thing that I saw in regards to hair transplants is something, they call it plasma something. They take blood and then they spin it and just get the plasma, which has the proteins which allow for growth of, you know, any kind of cell. But they've used this kind of plasma to like put it into your, like the underneath your scalp, like the dermis of your scalp, to promote the growth of hair. I'll see the exact name and I'll also put it in my description box, but that technique is like they use injections to put this plasma in your hair, and then it helps to grow your hair in that area. I'm not quite sure about the success rate, but I know it is something new and it's being done. I think I also saw that I saw that plasma technique being used also in a sorry, some of these things, they make me, you know, think about, you know, the way things are being done these days. So anyway, I saw this in so if you're a movie person, I usually watched reality TV, so I saw this in Married to Medicine, where I think it's Mariah's husband was getting some hair rejuvenation or something, and they are putting that kind of plasma in his scalp so that I'm not quite sure if it was in regards to the hair transplant. He was either getting a hair transplant or he was getting that plasma technique so that he could grow his hair. But I think he had a reaction to it or something like that, so I don't know what they ended up doing, but yeah, that is another technique that has been used to grow hair. So anyway, those are the things scientifically that are being done at the moment to you know, cause your hair or have you have a full head of hair. The other thing is also, of course, lifestyle changes, which are very important in terms of, you know, as I think I'd mentioned earlier, that stress is accompanied by like inflammation, and inflammation causes all of these things which are detrimental to the body. So when you're stressed, either if it is like psychological stress or if it is physical stress, like, you know, pregnancy or things like that, your hair can fall off or thin, or you can get a balding area. So what you need to do is to find ways to cope with the stress. For example, if you're you know, a person who is a very anxious person, you may want to go to areas which make you more relaxed. Like I usually believe, or not believe, but I like natural places where you can just relax, like the ocean or mountain hiking or things like that. Mountain hiking also has that thing of you're doing exercise, so it boosts the blood to be circulated to the body. Exercise is very good actually to just boost blood going to the whole of your body and into the scalp so that your hair grows faster. And then of course nutrition and sleep. Okay, yeah, so doing lifestyle changes, getting enough sleep, being able to eat healthy, try and have a good diet, things especially good with increase in fruits and vegetables, more than the carbohydrates. Protein is also very good for the hair. Protein is what makes up part of your hair. I mean, the hair follicle itself is dead, but most of that hair follicle before it dies is made up of protein. So that, and I think like collagen and things like that. So it's really important for you to eat your protein. Iron, like, you know, liver, your vegetables like spinach, kale, fruits, especially things which have colors, you know, beets, carrots, oranges, things like that, which have color in them, also have antioxidants, which is good for reducing inflammation. And scalp inflammation is a real thing and can cause hair loss. So yeah, you also have to be gentle with your hair care. Like, don't do, like, for male people, I would say, I mean, people have long hair or short hair, so if you have long hair, try not to put it in a bun, like a really tight bun. If you have short hair, then you just have to be careful with like how you wash it, how you detangle it, especially with African hair, which is very curly. You just have to be very gentle in how you moisturize it and detangle it, so that it doesn't form coils, it doesn't form knots, and it doesn't, you know, tear from the root. And other than that, you can also use wigs, weaves, especially for like cancer patients, you know, like severe hair loss, severe balding, especially, well, that may be for women, but also for men. Men also have like the wigs, the toupees. You know, there are some presidents who have used toupees. I think we know who. Yeah, and things that will cover up. There's also like hairsprays which have like fine fake hair to cover up like small areas, so you can use that. And color, especially for those who have like graying, also you can use hair color to just like cover the area, although I wouldn't recommend that because it has chemicals, but you know, if it's a temporary thing, you can do that. So yeah, I would like to hear your experiences on male balding. How has that affected like any male, you yourself as a male, or any male relatives or friends that you have had? Is it a big thing? I think it's a big thing. Like, I think I see a lot of younger people getting bald these days. I don't know if it's just because they are more aware, or I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So yeah, let me know. And thank you for listening. I apologize again for the noise, and we'll see you later.